Have you ever wondered why lung cancer is rapidly increasing among people who have never smoked? This is not just an issue in developing countries. It is becoming a health crisis in the US and other developed nations. The truth is, the rate of lung cancer in non-smokers has risen alarmingly in recent years, and this serves as a wake-up call for both the medical community and the public. So, what is causing this? Why is this happening even though smoking rates have decreased? Let's explore the hidden factors that are silently contributing to this rise. Real-life stories will show you that lung cancer is not just a disease of smokers. It can affect anyone, regardless of lifestyle and daily habits. In this video, we will dive into the reasons behind the increase in lung cancer in non-smokers and share preventive measures you can apply today to protect your health. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it to raise awareness. Help everyone recognize the hidden risks and take effective steps to prevent lung cancer. Let's take action now to protect the health of yourself and your loved ones. Many of us often think that cigarette smoke is the main cause of lung cancer, but in reality, there is another important factor that we often overlook: indoor air pollution. While outdoor air pollution is a major issue, indoor air pollution can have even more serious effects on our health. Sources of indoor pollution can come from many things, including gas stoves, wood stoves, fireplaces, and household chemicals. In rural areas or places with poor living conditions, the use of wood-burning stoves, coal stoves, or unclean fuel sources is a major cause of pollution. However, even in modern urban areas of the US, indoor air pollution is also a significant issue, especially as the number of non-smokers continues to increase. Yet the rate of lung cancer continues to rise. Although smoking rates in the US have significantly decreased over the past decades, the number of people diagnosed with lung cancer among non-smokers has been increasing. According to the American Cancer Society, there are currently around 200,000 new cases of lung cancer diagnosed each year, the majority of which are non-smokers. This situation is even more concerning when data from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, shows that the concentration of fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, indoors can be up to 5 times higher than outdoors, especially when using gas stoves, fireplaces without proper ventilation systems, or ineffective air purifiers. This is one of the important factors contributing to the increase in lung cancer among non-smokers. Fine particulate matter, PM, is one of the most dangerous air pollutants, particularly PM 2.5 and PM 10. These particles are extremely small, with diameters of less than or equal to 2.5 micrometers and less than or equal to 10 micrometers, respectively. Due to their tiny size, fine particles can easily enter the respiratory system, deep into the lungs, and cause many serious health issues. Among these, lung cancer is one of the conditions most closely linked to fine particulate matter. The mechanism by which fine particles cause lung cancer is mainly due to their ability to penetrate and accumulate in the respiratory system. With a size smaller than the hair in the nose and trachea, PM 2.5 is not filtered by the body's natural defense mechanisms but goes directly into the alveoli, where gas exchange occurs in the lungs. Once they enter, the particles, which contain heavy metals like lead, arsenic, and cadmium, and harmful organic compounds such as benzene and PAHs, can trigger chronic inflammatory responses, leading to lung tissue damage. Chronic inflammation not only weakens respiratory function but also creates conditions for genetic damage to occur in cells. Some components in fine particles, such as benzo-AA-pyrene, have the ability to cause genetic mutations, disrupt cell division, and lead to the formation of cancerous tumors. Indoor air pollution from sources such as gas stoves and unclean cooking devices can seriously harm health, increasing the risk of respiratory diseases and lung cancer. A noteworthy example in the US is the story of Linda, a 58-year-old woman living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Linda had been using a gas stove for many years without a proper ventilation system. Despite not smoking, she was diagnosed with lung cancer after years of exposure to gas fumes in the air. She shared that, although she was not a smoker, she felt like she was living in smoke for a long time. After being diagnosed, she decided to replace the gas stove with an electric one and install a modern ventilation system. However, she realized that her health had worsened due to the long-term effects of indoor air pollution. The connection between fine particles and lung cancer is not just a hypothesis but has been proven by many scientific studies. The World Health Organization, WHO, and the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, have officially classified fine particulate matter as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is clear evidence that it can cause cancer in humans. A study by Harvard University shows that when PM2.5 levels in the air increase by 10 micrograms per cubic meter, the risk of death from lung cancer can increase by 15 to 27%. To mitigate these effects, improving ventilation and using air purifiers indoors are important solutions. Make sure your living space is always well ventilated, and regularly maintain cooking devices and fireplaces to reduce harmful gases and fine particles in the air. Maintaining a clean indoor environment not only helps protect your health but also improves the quality of life, reducing the risk of serious diseases such as lung cancer and other respiratory issues. Although air pollution and environmental factors play a significant role in the rise of lung cancer, genetic factors are just as important. One of the key genetic factors contributing to lung cancer in non-smokers is the EGFR gene mutation. This mutation can increase the risk of developing lung cancer, even in people who have never smoked. The EGFR gene is vital for regulating cell growth and division in the body. However, when this gene is mutated, the regulation becomes disrupted, causing cancer cells to grow uncontrollably. Studies show that the EGFR mutation is present in about 50 to 60% of lung cancer cases in non-smokers in Asia, though the rate is lower in other regions. This demonstrates the powerful influence of genetics on the development of lung cancer, even among individuals who have never been exposed to tobacco. A well-known example of an EGFR mutation is the case of Linda, a 47-year-old woman living in the US who has never smoked. Linda began experiencing fatigue, shortness of breath, and a persistent cough over several months. However, since she had never smoked, she didn't think lung cancer was a risk for her. After seeking medical attention and undergoing tests, doctors diagnosed her with lung cancer and discovered an EGFR mutation. Genetic testing revealed that this mutation was the primary cause of the uncontrolled growth of cancer cells in her lungs. Linda was treated with targeted therapy that specifically addressed her EGFR mutation, helping to stop the cancer cells from spreading. Her story has raised awareness about the dangers of lung cancer, even for non-smokers with genetic risk factors. Research conducted by major health organizations like the National Cancer Institute, NCI, and the World Health Organization, WHO, has shown that the EGFR gene mutation is a key genetic factor in the development of lung cancer. These studies also found that lung cancer caused by an EGFR mutation can respond better to treatments that target this mutation, improving outcomes for patients. According to NCI research, detecting the EGFR mutation in non-smokers allows for more accurate diagnoses and the implementation of more effective, personalized treatment plans. This discovery is opening new doors for lung cancer treatment and improving survival rates for patients. Another risk factor for lung cancer in non-smokers is radon gas. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas, colorless and odorless, arising from the decay of uranium in rocks and soil. When radon accumulates in homes, it can pose serious health risks, especially in homes with high radon levels. Radon can infiltrate homes through cracks in walls, floors, and the drainage system. If not properly ventilated, radon can accumulate to dangerous levels. Long-term exposure to radon can cause lung cancer, particularly in areas with high radon concentrations. According to studies by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer after tobacco. Although the incidence of lung cancer from radon is lower than from tobacco, it remains a potential danger for those living in environments with high radon levels. The story of John and Mary's family in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is a prime example of the impact of radon gas. They had lived in their home for 25 years without knowing that the radon levels in their basement were 4 times higher than the safe limit set by the EPA. After John began experiencing a persistent cough and shortness of breath, the family decided to check the radon levels in their house. The results showed that the radon levels exceeded the permissible limit. John was diagnosed with lung cancer, and doctors confirmed that radon in the house was the primary cause of the disease. After improving the ventilation system and installing radon filtration devices in their home, John's family significantly reduced their risk of future radon exposure. However, their story serves as a warning to many other families, especially in areas like Pennsylvania and Iowa, where radon levels are high in the soil. Areas such as Pennsylvania, Iowa, and mountainous regions of the U.S. have high radon concentrations due to the decay of uranium. People living in these areas have a higher risk of lung cancer from radon exposure. The EPA estimates that radon causes approximately 21,000 lung cancer deaths annually in the U.S., making it one of the significant causes of lung cancer. Preventive measures for radon include testing radon levels in homes, improving ventilation systems, and installing radon filtration devices if necessary. Experts recommend that people living in areas with high radon concentrations regularly check radon levels in their homes to reduce the risk of lung cancer. In addition to air pollution, EGFR gene mutations, and radon exposure, are there other factors that can increase the risk of lung cancer in non-smokers? Before we dive into the next causes, we'd really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to our channel to support the team behind this program. Thank you so much. Now, let's explore another important factor: family history and workplace environment. You might think this sounds a bit odd at first. What does family history and the work environment have to do with lung cancer? Let me explain. These factors can interact in complex ways, significantly increasing the risk for those who have no history of smoking. Family history is a significant factor in the development of many types of cancer, and lung cancer is no exception. If someone in your family has had lung cancer, your risk of developing the disease is higher. This is because of genetic factors that are inherited from parents or close relatives, which may make certain individuals more vulnerable to cancer. A recent study found that people with a parent or sibling who has had lung cancer have a higher risk of developing the disease compared to those without such a family history. Research from Harvard University showed that the risk of lung cancer in families with a history of lung cancer is twice as high as in families with no such history. This genetic predisposition may be linked to the presence of specific mutations in the genes that increase the likelihood of developing cancer, even in non-smokers. These mutations might affect the body's ability to repair damaged DNA, regulate cell growth, or manage cancerous cells. So, even without smoking, the inherited genetic factors could create a higher risk for lung cancer in individuals with a family history of the disease. Another major risk factor is the workplace environment. People who work in certain industries are at higher risk of being exposed to harmful substances that can increase their chances of developing lung cancer. Asbestos, for instance, is a material once widely used in construction, shipbuilding, and mining, and has been proven to cause lung cancer. A study by the National Cancer Institute, NCI, found that people who worked in environments with asbestos exposure had a risk of lung cancer that was 5 times higher than those who were not exposed to it. Other industries, such as chemical manufacturing, food processing, and power plants, also pose risks because they may expose workers to carcinogenic chemicals. In Tom's case, a 60-year-old construction worker from New York, he spent 35 years working in the construction industry without knowing the potential health risks of asbestos. Despite never smoking, Tom was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer after experiencing symptoms like a persistent cough and chest pain. After further investigation, he discovered that his exposure to asbestos at work was the leading cause of his condition. Tom's story highlights how workplace exposure to harmful substances can significantly increase the risk of lung cancer, even for non-smokers. To reduce the risk of lung cancer, it's important to understand the various risk factors and take preventive measures. One of the most effective strategies is improving indoor air quality, especially for households using unclean fuel sources. Installing a good ventilation system, using high-quality air purifiers, and limiting the use of wood-burning stoves or coal stoves are all effective ways to reduce indoor air pollution. Additionally, ensuring that your living space is always well-ventilated, dry, and has proper air circulation can help minimize harmful substances in the air and protect the respiratory health of your family members. As mentioned earlier, radon exposure is another risk factor for lung cancer. Families living in areas with high radon levels should regularly check radon levels in their homes and take mitigation measures like improving ventilation and installing radon filtration systems. Testing for radon is simple and can help detect potential issues before they become a serious threat. Finally, regular health checkups are one of the most effective ways to detect lung cancer early. This is especially crucial for those with a family history of lung cancer or who work in high-risk environments. Early testing can help catch lung cancer at an early stage when it is more treatable, and it could make all the difference. In conclusion, lung cancer in non-smokers is a serious and complex public health issue that requires immediate attention and action. We need to raise awareness about the risk factors, promote research to better understand the mechanisms of the disease, and implement effective preventive measures. If you found the information in this video helpful, don't forget to like, share it so others can be informed, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on other important health knowledge. Take action now to protect your health and the health of the community.